All right, we're back online with my mother. Her name is Bess. I've already let the cat out of the bag. 96 in June. Doesn't look it. Mom, I've been inundated by requests to talk with you again and post it to Facebook. What is this magic you have?
That's a good question. I guess because I have a positive, realistic outlook to life. And I think that is what keeps me going. Also, I have to retain my sense of humor. That's another good point, because that is also what keeps me going.
Speaking of your sense, Mom,
Night.
speaking of your sense of humor, first of all, I know that the connection isn't too good tonight, so that's why I waved, not to be rude or dismissive, but to signal that I was about to say something. But speaking of your sense of humor, earlier today that you told me that you've come up with a plan with Gary, the fellow who works in the entrance to the building. You came up with a plan for when you're ready to go to Mars. What's that plan?
Well, last night, I'm in bed, I thought, I have enough time. I have so much time that I can do a lot of thinking. And I thought to myself, what a terrific idea it would be if I started baking bagels now in preparation for our trip to Mars. So I phoned my friend this morning and I said, listen, I have a lot of time. I've been thinking, and my suggestion to you now is I should start baking bagels now while I have all this time, so that we'll be prepared for when we go to Mars. He thought it was an excellent idea. And he says, you have my permission. You start right now. And I said, he thought it was an excellent. Okay, it's a deal.
So let me just jump in for a minute. Let me just jump in for a minute. Since you and I started video chatting, I've had a lot more followers, many more followers. And if they're meeting you for the first time and they're hearing about this trip to Mars, they're going to think that you've been socially distanced for too long. They're going to think you're crazy. So I just want new listeners, followers to know that my mother isn't crazy. She plans. And one of those plans is to have a trip to Mars with her friend Gary. How long has that trip been in the works?
Oh, for some time. We've been planning this for a long time. And we're waiting just for that right opportunity to go ahead with our plans. So
you know, this whole coronavirus thing, it sounds like you're looking at it as an opportunity to get ahead and build towards your Mars trip.
Absolutely. We must plan. We must look ahead. As I said before, positive, realistic attitude.
Realistic.
That's what keeps you going.
So on a more serious note then, what guidance would you have in terms of planning to help people cope now at home?
That's another good question. If we don't live with hope, we're lost. We must live with hope.
Mm.
And another thing, we must keep connected. To me, that's the most important thing to do for your own sanity and for other people's sanity. Keep connected. Phone, stay on that phone. Phone people who haven't spoken to you for some time. See how they are. See how they're getting along. It's amazing what a phone call can do to make them feel better. And when you phone, be optimistic. Don't be pessimistic. That's another good point.
Why is
If you're going
that?
to make that phone call,
Wh-
it has to serve a purpose.
Why is your guidance when you're making that phone call to be optimistic? Why is that important?
Because it is so easy to be depressed
Mm.
if you stop and think. Sometimes, even when you're optimistic, you can be depressed. So you have to fight. It's a fight for survival. That's what it is. You want to survive. You want to help other people survive. They look forward to that phone call.
Mm.
I called someone the other day who's in a depressed state. After I finished talking to her, she says, "You know, Bess, you made me feel better." So if you can keep doing that, you have the time. All day you've got time. Make your time useful. Use it
I,
for
I think that
what,
was
dear?
I I think that was a very on point, very wonderful message, Mum. And I thank you for that and the sincerity with which you deliver it. I think it's going to cause a lot of people to pick up a phone and to call a friend, to call a loved one, and do just what you're saying, and not to bend an ear, but to lift a spirit. Before we go, I only have one other question. Are you going to make sesame seed bagels? Because I like sesame seed.
As a matter of fact, I discussed that with my partner in the business, and we decided to make 4 different types so that we can please everybody. We
Well,
aim to please.
I got to tell you, Mom, you'll be 96 in June. You've been pleasing me the
Yes,
entirety of my life. And I think now you're going to please a whole new bunch of people through Facebook. I think they're going to share this post as a means to help buoy the spirits of other people. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I
I
thank
love
you for
you
doing
too.
this.
I love you very much. Stay well, stay safe. And Gary, I'm very proud of you for what you are doing with your whole heart and soul. You've
Thank you.
helped thousands of people. I am so proud of you. I think you're amazing.
Thank
Love
you,
you.
Mom. Love you too.
Take care.